The 1970s gave us iconic music, funky fashion, and some of the strangest cars ever to hit American roads. Some were ridiculously oversized, others completely impractical, and a few even downright dangerous. In today's video, we're taking a look at the dumbest and weirdest cars of the 70s. And trust me, you definitely want to stick around for the last one because it's super weird. At number 1, the Ford Pinto was supposed to be Ford's answer to the booming demand for small, affordable cars in the early 1970s. Now, on paper, it was simple, practical, and exactly what the market wanted. But behind the sleek ads and smiling families, the Pinto carried a deadly secret. Its fuel tank was placed dangerously close to the rear bumper and with very little reinforcement. Now, that design flaw meant one thing. Even a minor rear-end collision could turn the car into a fireball. What made it worse wasn't just the danger, it was the corporate decision behind it. Internal documents later revealed Ford calculated that paying off lawsuits would cost less money than fixing the flaw. The price tag? Dozens of lives lost, horrific burn injuries, and countless lawsuits that branded the Pinto a rolling death trap. It wasn't just a failure of engineering, it was a failure of ethics. For many Americans, it became the ultimate symbol of corporate greed on wheels. Okay, so if the Pinto burned trust, our next car mocked ambition itself. At number 2, we've got the AMC Pacer, which was marketed as the car of the future. It was wide, it was curvy, and it was loaded with glass. It looked like nothing else on the road in 1975. Designers imagined it as a bold step into a new era, even calling it the first wide small car. But instead of feeling futuristic, Americans saw something strange, an oversized goldfish bowl rolling down the street. The Pacer's massive windows made it unbearably hot in the summer. Its weight dragged down fuel economy, and its small engine struggled to move the bulk. Drivers quickly realized they weren't piloting a space-age marvel, they were crawling in a slow, awkward bubble. Ridiculed by critics and lampooned in pop culture, the Pacer became a symbol of how chasing different doesn't always equal success. And yet, in its failure, it became unforgettable. Today, it's remembered less for innovation and more as a punchline. A car that tried to leap ahead but stumbled into history as one of the most stupid cars of the 70s. Now, if the Pacer was mocked, the Vega was praised and then betrayed. When the Chevy Vega debuted in 1970, critics hailed it as Detroit's bold comeback. Sleek styling, low price, and promises of cutting-edge aluminum engines made it sound like the small car America desperately needed. For a brief moment, it looked like General Motors had finally caught up with European and Japanese rivals. Oh, but the reality was brutal. See, the Vega's aluminum engines were prone to overheating, warping, and seizing after shockingly few miles. Its body panels, made with cost-cutting shortcuts, began to rust almost instantly, sometimes while cars were still sitting on dealership lots. Owners who thought they were buying modern reliability found themselves stranded on the roadside, staring at a machine disintegrating before their very eyes. Now, the betrayal cut deep. Chevy had sold hope, but had delivered heartbreak instead. As word spread, the Vega's reputation collapsed, dragging GM's credibility down with it. Once praised as the future, it became a cautionary tale, proof that rushing a car to market can leave nothing but rust behind. Now, if the Vega crumbled from neglect, our next car collapsed from ambition. In the mid-1970s, Malcolm Bricklin set out to build a car that would change everything. His vision wasn't just style or speed, it was safety. The SV1, short for Safety Vehicle 1, came with futuristic gull-wing doors, energy-absorbing bumpers, and a bold fiberglass body. It was supposed to be the perfect mix of innovation and responsibility, a car decades ahead of its time. But once it hit the streets, the dream quickly fell apart. The gull-wing doors, which looked dramatic in ads, often refused to open properly, trapping drivers inside the car. Electrical failures, poor build quality, and underpowered engines made the SV1 less a revolution and more of a frustration. With each breakdown, the car that promised safety left its owner stranded and embarrassed. Naturally, financial losses piled up, production halted, and fewer than 3,000 were ever built. The SV1 wasn't just a failed car, but a failed movement, a bold vision undone by flawed execution. In chasing safety, it created one of the 70s most iconic disasters. If you've loved seeing the 70s car disasters so far, make sure you hit subscribe because you don't want to miss out on what's next. Okay, so if the SV1 failed with ambition, the Cadillac failed with deception. By the early 80s, Cadillac's name still meant prestige, comfort, and power. But as fuel crises and foreign competition squeezed the American market, GM rushed to create a smarter, modern Cadillac to keep up. The result was a Cimarron, launched in 1982, a car that quickly became a symbol of everything wrong with badge engineering. See, underneath the Cadillac badge, the chrome trim and leather seats was a basic Chevy Cavalier. Same body, same engine, nearly the same price as cars sitting 2 rows away on the lot. Buyers who expected Cadillac innovation instead got an overpriced economy car wearing luxury clothes. It was like Pretty Woman all over again. The backlash, it was pretty immediate. Critics shredded the car as lazy and cynical, while loyal Cadillac fans felt insulted. And instead of drawing in new buyers, it damaged the brand's reputation, proving that prestige can't be faked with a nameplate. Even today, it's still remembered not just as a misstep, but as one of the most embarrassing chapters in Cadillac history. Okay, while the Cadillac fooled buyers, Chrysler's next cars fooled themselves with endless flaws. When Chrysler rolled out the Dodge Aspen and the Plymouth in 1976, hopes were high. Marketed as small, modern sedans to revitalize a struggling company, they were supposed to be Chrysler's saviors. Ooh, sleek lines, decent interiors, and affordability all promised a brand new era. Ooh, but it couldn't have been more worse. From the moment they hit the lots, the cars were plagued by recalls. Rust spread across body panels almost immediately. Engines seized under normal driving, and electrical gremlins left drivers stranded. Owners found themselves in a constant cycle of repair shops, paperwork, and frustration. The public's patience naturally ran out fast. What was intended as a market comeback became an emblem of Detroit's struggles during the malaise era. Chrysler's reputation sank as quickly as the car's frames, turning a bold initiative into a lesson in how rushed engineering and cost-cutting could destroy trust. These two cars weren't just failures, they were reminders that even a company with history could misstep spectacularly when ambition ignored reality. Now, if Chrysler stumbled, AMC embraced absurdity and the Gremlin was born. April 1st, 1970, AMC unveiled the Gremlin, a car whose appearance immediately sparked laughter. Its chopped-off rear, its bulbous front, and its odd proportions made it look like a car that had been accidentally cut in half. And yet, AMC proudly presented it as a revolutionary compact car designed for the modern driver. Under the quirky exterior, reliability was equally unpredictable. Owners complained about weak engines, suspension problems, and rust creeping into corners, further cementing the Gremlin's reputation as a small disaster on wheels. Despite the issues, its low price and unique styling gave it a niche following, particularly among drivers willing to embrace the absurd. Over time, the Gremlin achieved a strange kind of fame. While critics and the public mocked it, collectors and enthusiasts began to celebrate its boldness and its unapologetic weirdness. Today, it's remembered less as a failure and more as an icon of 1970s experimentation. A car so awkward, it could only come from an era that dared to try anything. If the 70s gave us these disasters, which cars will future generations mock next? Let us know what you think in the comment section down below.